All right, let's dive into something luxurious today. We're talking Regent Seven Seas Cruises. That kind of travel where you don't even have to think about your budget, just pure indulgence. We're looking at a marketing video they put out, 10 irresistible reasons to book with them. So, marketing. But we're going to try to figure out what really makes these cruises special.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of, you know, go beyond the sales pitch, see what really makes them stand out in the luxury market.
Yeah, exactly. So the first thing they hit you with is this idea of a truly all-inclusive experience. And I mean everything. Excursions, the best food, top shelf drinks, Wi-Fi, they even do your laundry. Is that really as unique as they make it sound?
Well, a lot of cruise lines and resorts use that all-inclusive term,
Yeah.
but Regent is definitely trying to take it up a notch. No hidden costs, no surprises, because that can be a real downer when you're trying to have a luxurious, relaxing vacation.
Right, but I've also heard people say that prepaying for everything can feel a bit restrictive.
Oh, for sure. It depends on the traveler. Some people love the freedom of choosing their own activities, where to eat. Others just want to relax and know everything's taken care of.
So it's like spontaneity versus peace of mind.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems like Regent is betting on their guests wanting that peace of mind.
Makes sense. They also talk a lot about having smaller ships, that more intimate, fewer people than those mega ships.
Right. Their ships carry a lot fewer passengers, somewhere between like 490 and 750, depending on the ship. And that lets them have a much higher staff-to-guest ratio, like 1.5 staff members for every guest.
Okay, but does that actually translate into a more personalized experience, or is it just a numbers game?
That's the question, right? Having a lot of staff doesn't mean much if they're not well trained. But Regent talks about their dedicated attendants, butlers, like the kind of service you'd get at a super high-end hotel where they know what you need before you even ask.
I've stayed in places where that kind of attention felt a bit intrusive, more annoying than helpful. How do you think Regent walks that line?
Well, it's all about what they call anticipatory service, right? Reading cues, understanding preferences, and offering help without being pushy. It'll be interesting to see if they actually pull that off.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing they emphasize is the spaciousness of their ships, talking about how the lounges, dining areas, even the pool aren't crowded.
Yeah, that plays into the whole psychology of luxury, doesn't it? When you have space, especially compared to those huge crowded ships, it creates a sense of exclusivity, tranquility. It makes you feel like you're getting something special.
Right, like it's not for everyone. And that feeling of exclusivity extends to their suites. They mention ocean views, private balconies, lots of space, like luxury hotel rooms, but at sea.
hmm And they talk about these elite slumber beds, though they don't really explain what makes them so special. Are we talking like Egyptian cotton sheets,
Yeah.
memory foam, a sleep consultant on call?
Good point. A discerning traveler might want some more details. Speaking of luxury, let's talk about the food. They don't just say good food, they're talking about culinary excellence, comparing it to, like, Michelin-starred restaurants.
Right, and they highlight this restaurant, Compass Rose, where you can actually customize your entree, which is interesting because it shows that trend of personalization in luxury travel, you know, giving people control and choice beyond a standard menu.
Yeah, I see that. They also have all these specialty restaurants
Right.
with menus from around the world and carefully selected wines. But Michelin star quality is a pretty high bar. How do they manage that on a ship with, hundreds of guests to serve?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maintaining that level of quality consistently on a moving ship, that's got to be a logistical challenge. It'd
Yeah.
be interesting to see how they source their ingredients, their staff, and all that.
Definitely. And it's not just food. They have all sorts of amenities, like a five-star hotel, the Canyon Ranch Spa, a fitness center, a curated library, a really well-designed pool area.
Oh yeah, Canyon Ranch is a big name in wellness. Luxurious spas, a holistic approach to health. Having them on board really adds to the whole experience. It's like you're not just going somewhere to eat, sleep, and be entertained. You can really focus on your well-being too.
So the ship itself is part of that luxury, not just transportation.
Exactly. They're creating a whole world of luxury where every need is met and every desire is anticipated.
All right, so we've got the all-inclusive thing, the small ship, the spacious rooms, the gourmet food, the amazing amenities. What else is on Regent's list of irresistible reasons?
Well, let's see how they keep their guests entertained while they're at sea.
Sounds good. Let's dive into the world of onboard entertainment.
Well, they've got the usual stuff,
Mm.
live music, cabaret shows, dancing, karaoke, even a casino.
Yeah, that seems pretty standard for a cruise ship. Is there anything that really makes them unique compared to other luxury lines, I mean?
Well, it's a good mix of options. But it does make you wonder who their target audience really is. Are they trying to appeal to everyone, or is it more for a specific type of traveler?
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Maybe looking at their destinations will give us a clue.
Oh, right. Speaking of destinations, they really emphasize their worldwide itineraries. Everything from the classic European cruises to more exotic places like Alaska, Africa, Asia, the Caribbean, South America. They even have these like transoceanic journeys for people who want a real adventure.
Wow, that is quite a range. But with so many places to go, how do they make sure each trip is unique and memorable?
Well, they talk about curated experiences, like they go beyond the typical tourist traps,
Hmm.
more immersive, authentic, they mentioned going to less traveled destinations and working with local experts to give people a deeper understanding of the culture.
Interesting. And they're big on including shore excursions in the price, which is a big plus. Those can get really expensive on other cruises. But does that mean the quality or the uniqueness is compromised?
That's a good point. It's definitely convenient to have everything bundled together. But are these excursions actually enriching or just generic tours?
Yeah, a discerning traveler would want to do some research, make sure the excursions match their interests.
Absolutely. It's always good to dig a little deeper, look past the marketing, even with a luxury brand.
So we've covered the luxurious accommodations, the gourmet dining, the curated experiences, the global destinations, but all this opulence has to come at a price, right?
Oh, of course. We're not talking about budget vacations here. These cruises are an investment for
Mhm.
sure. The question is, does the experience justify the cost?
Right, it's about value for money. So who do you think is the ideal Regent traveler? Who's willing to pay a premium for this kind of curated luxury?
Hmm. Well, based on their marketing, I'd say they're going after that traveler who values comfort, personalized service, seamless experiences.
Right.
Probably someone who's well-traveled, maybe tired of planning every detail themselves, looking for a more relaxed, hassle-free way to see the world, but without sacrificing luxury.
That makes sense. But even within that group, there are different travel styles,
Oh
preferences.
yeah, for sure. Some people might love the all-inclusive aspect, the peace of mind, while others might find it too restrictive. Some might love the curated experiences, the chance to really delve into a destination. Others might want more freedom to explore on their own.
So it comes down to knowing yourself as a traveler and seeing if Regent's approach fits your style.
Exactly. They paint a very pretty picture of luxury. But in the end, it's up to each person to decide if it's right for them.
They also talk a lot about their high staff to guest ratio, but I wonder if that always equals exceptional service. Sometimes all that attention can feel more intrusive than helpful.
Oh, I agree. It's not just about the number of staff, it's about their training, their ability to anticipate needs without being overbearing. It's a tough balance to get right.
And they boast about having Michelin star quality dining, but I'm curious about the actual experience. Does it really live up to the hype? Are there enough options for different tastes?
Good questions. Even if the food is technically excellent, it's still subjective, you know. Some people might prefer a more casual dining experience, even on a luxury cruise.
Right, not everyone wants to dress up for every meal or deal with formal dining etiquette. Those are important things to consider when you're choosing a cruise line, especially in the luxury segment where expectations are high.
And speaking of high expectations, there's one thing we haven't really touched on yet, sustainability.
Oh, that's a really important point. It's not just about luxury anymore. Travelers are looking for brands that align with their values, and sustainability is a big one.
Exactly. And the cruise industry has been under scrutiny for its environmental impact, especially the impact of these big ships on delicate ecosystems.
So, how does Regent address this? Do they have any initiatives to reduce their environmental footprint, or are they lagging behind?
Well, they're definitely talking more about sustainability these days. Like a lot of cruise lines, they highlight things like their wastewater treatment systems
Hmm.
and using energy-efficient technology on the ships. They also mention partnering with organizations that focus on ocean conservation.
Okay, those are some good steps. But are they really doing enough? How do they compare to other luxury lines in terms of sustainability?
It's tough to say. They talk about being committed to it, but it's hard to know the real impact. Without looking deeper into their practices, their data, are they actually making a difference or is it more about PR?
So it's up to the traveler to dig a little deeper. What would you suggest people do to really vet these claims?
I'd say look beyond the brochures and the marketing stuff. Look for those third-party certifications from legitimate environmental organizations. See what independent groups and experts are saying about their practices. Compare them to other cruise lines, see where they stand.
Transparency is so important. especially when it comes to the environment. People want to know that the companies they support are being responsible.
Right, absolutely. And at the end of the day, it's the traveler who decides what's most important to them. If sustainability is a top priority, then they need to support brands that are walking the walk.
So after taking a deep dive into Regent Seven Seas Cruises, we've learned a lot. They're all about that curated experience